We are Monsanto's corporate social responsibility internal consulting team, and we're excited to be here to speak with you, Monsanto's senior management, about the ethical issues raised by our business practices in India. On average, in India's main cotton growing region, Vidarbha, 3 farmers a day commit suicide by swallowing bottles of pesticide. They end their lives by ingesting the repellents that should protect their crops and their livelihoods. These cotton farmers are Monsanto's customers. They planted Monsanto's signature BT cottonseed. And the bad publicity surrounding the suicides has hurt our company's corporate image. We're here today because of a PBS documentary called The Dying Fields. The documentary portrayed Monsanto as an evil corporation, profiting from the misery of Vidarbha's poor cotton farmers. The portrayal was unwarranted. Farmer suicides are a tragic and complex phenomenon. But this is a dilemma facing Monsanto. Do we look past the short term, go beyond our core competencies, and do more than just sell seeds? As is, Monsanto's name is attached to farmer suicides. And while Monsanto is not the cause of the problem, we can be the solution. We believe Monsanto can have an immensely positive impact on the region by taking on the 3 main issues facing Vidarbha's cotton farmers: a lack of education, a lack of irrigation, and a lack of credit. Without education, farmer growing methods are outdated and inconsistent. Without irrigation, they can't maximize yields and realize the returns our salesmen promise them. And without access to capital, many are compelled to take out loans from loan sharks, which perpetuates a cycle of indebtedness that is the main cause of farmer suicides in the region. We believe that Monsanto has the power to resolve these issues. Deeply rooted in Monsanto's philosophy is that the best way to improve farmers' lives is by giving them access to modern agricultural technology and increasing their harvests. Our company's motto is, unlock the power of the yield. In our annual reports, we pledge to help farmers get more out of every patch of soil, every unit of fertilizer, and every gallon of water. As our CEO states, this is not simply altruistic, but a unique business proposition that creates value year after year. Yet Monsanto's pledge rings hollow in Vidarbha's forgotten fields, where we have focused on aggressively marketing our seeds.
When BT was introduced, sales skyrocketed, and along with them, the expectation that a magic seed had come along, one that would usher India's poor cotton farmers into prosperity. And our salesmen promoted that very picture. With their salary highly dependent on sales, they were encouraged to promote BT as a cure-all, end-all. But there was little incentive to see to it that farmers realized the returns that our salesmen promised them. The outcome? Many farmers with unrealistic expectations. Expectations that came crashing down because although BT does offer great returns, it was not the magic seed that it was portrayed to be. Monsanto chose the easy route, to sell farmers a dream. But for many, that dream became a nightmare because farmers weren't trained on the precise pesticide, fertilizer, and water inputs necessary to maximize our seed yields. So crops came up short, debts ballooned, and farmer suicides increased. As a result, in 2005, Monsanto was banned from making sales in Vidarbha's neighboring state of Andhra Pradesh and was accused in the courts of manipulating Indian cotton farmers. Other regions followed suit, but thankfully Monsanto was able to overturn the allegations and get on with business. But still, a threatening legal precedent had been set, and the accusations lingered. We'd like to point out that business ethics often begins where the law ends. So how is it that Monsanto was ever accused of manipulating cotton farmers? We did such a great job of penetrating the market, but lost sight of marketing's main focus, to create value for our customers. By not ensuring the farmers grew BT to the best of their ability, Monsanto became a scapegoat and moved into an ethical gray area. Reports show that Indian cotton farmers voiced the need for experts in each village to help them manage these cotton inputs. But educating farmers on proper growing techniques is especially challenging in places like Vidarbha, where 70% of the population is illiterate. But that's what Monsanto has to strive for. The courts absolved Monsanto of any wrongdoing, but we should not equate legality with morality, because Monsanto is a far-reaching multinational, and on the other side stand third-world farmers, many of whom were misled by our salesmen. So to move out of this ethical gray area, Monsanto must do better than the forces in control, go beyond what is required by law, and make a special commitment to our most vulnerable clients.
So who is in a position to help? Well, more often than not in India, government policies hurt more than they help. A number of NGOs have their heart in the right place, but lack the infrastructure and the funding to make a difference. And the media has tried to help, often drawing attention to the suicides, but much of their message brings a lot of bad publicity to Monsanto. And that only leaves one group, and that's us, Monsanto. We are a far-reaching multinational and by far the biggest player in the region. In short, we have great power. And it can be said that with great power comes great responsibility. And Monsanto has great power. We have 60% of the market share in India, a wide distribution network of salesmen already in place, and we're the only genetically modified crop allowed in the country. That's great power. And with that great power comes the great responsibility to provide our customers with the necessary tools they need in order to make BT a success. We need to move beyond the transaction of our sales and start to build relationships with our customers. And ultimately, we need to make sure that we tie our success back to the farmer's success. So we have great power and great responsibility. If we don't what happens if we don't tie these two together? Well, the iron law of responsibility says that in the long run, those who do not use power in ways that society considers responsible will tend to lose it. So this great power that Monsanto has in India will by no means last forever. Monsanto's corporate social responsibility pledge says that farmers are Monsanto's customers, and we are only successful if our customers are successful. Well, right now, it's hard to say that our customers are successful, which means that truly we aren't being successful. Our corporate social responsibility pledge goes on to say that it's guided by the UN's Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which under Article 29-1 says that everyone has duties to which alone the free and full development of his personality is possible. Well, under this article, Monsanto has a duty to the development of the region of Vidarbha where we're conducting our business. And Article 1 says that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. So let's put this in a perspective that's a little closer to home. Imagine for a moment that 3 Texas cotton farmers were committing suicide each day, and Monsanto's name was being dragged through the mud in the process. Well, we certainly wouldn't allow this to happen here in America, and we shouldn't allow it to take place in India. After all human rights are for everyone. By deciding to use our power in a responsible way, we will provide stability to a region where it's desperately needed, and will improve the quality of life for our farmers who count on BT for their own livelihood. We'll also be staying true to our mission, and we'll also be helping in a part of the world where we are the only ones that have the power to help.
You asked us to examine the ethical issues involved and find a solution. We are pleased to have identified a target program which not only adheres to the issues of business ethics and corporate social responsibility, but also adheres to our fiduciary duty of maximizing shareholder value. Our solution tackles the education needs by incentivizing our salesmen to teach the farmers how to grow BT. Tackles the irrigation needs by guiding the farmers towards low-cost irrigation systems. And it tackles the capital needs by providing a line of credit for farmers to buy BT. This is the total solution, and it creates more value for Monsanto and its customers. It will increase customer loyalty and reduce skepticism over BT. Let us close with a quote from India's most revered leader, Mahatma Gandhi. "We must be the change we wish to see in the world." If this sounds familiar, it should. It's from Monsanto's own advertisement. In closing, we ask you, Monsanto's senior management, fulfill our pledge and be that change. Thank you.
Thank you.